But yeah, anyways.
So undervalued Ferraris next?
Undervalued Ferraris.
Why don't you start, Matthias? I want to hear your...
I don't know the value.
Well, let's say underrated Ferrari, okay? And, implied in that is undervalued, right? So your pick was the 296, right?
It could be.
But it was a 48.
I really like the look of the F12. I don't really see them too frequently.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite modern Ferrari besides the 458.
Yes.
Those are my two favorite modern Ferraris.
Okay, that's it.
Something about the F12. It just speaks to me.
I think that's actually a good call.
Yeah.
That is because the F12 is the last of the Pininfarina design
before the
card,
812,
right?
Yeah.
And then the 812 was the in-house refresh, which I think looks worse. And
especially the front.
Yeah, the front.
Yeah.
And, even every permutation of the 812 all the way down. Like, I'm kind of at the stage where I could maybe start to like the 12200, but I
color match
in black.
But I think color bar.
I don't mind
cool.
it.
I think it's cool.
Okay, F12 or 12-cylinder car?
F12.
I would probably if you're taking value out of the equation, just say
looks and enjoyment.
Yeah, looks and
Can't sell it.
Enjoyment
Can't
wise,
show anyone.
Yeah, looks wise, I think you're 100%. My friend has a beautiful white one.
Yeah.
I was just driving it behind it today. I'll put up the
white with
video.
red interior.
No, his is blackish with
nice.
Alcantara. Very conservative, beautiful spec.
Nice.
Just really, really nice looking car. In fact, I'm going to review it at some point.
And
maybe.
the two lights and the way it's
so beautifully sculpted. And interestingly, we were in a place where we had some a group of car dudes, and there was that car, and then there was a Revuelto, and then there was an Urus, and then there was an Aventador SV, and all these other really flashy cars. And in that company, this car washes out and it's a little bit in the background. But that's me. I like that, right? I don't want too many swoops. I don't want something too busy, right?
I think the 812's overstyled.
Yeah, 100%.
Totally honest.
100%.
Especially the comp.
Yeah. There's too many fins, there's too many spoilers, there's too much carbon. I'm sure they all have functional purposes, but I think in terms of purity of design language, you pick the two best, modern day Pininfarina cars. I think the 458 and that F12, I'm 100% there with you. And so if we follow that logic to its logical conclusion, then down the road, those two should be rewarded, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a good pick. So which one are you going to choose? The F12 or the 458? Okay.
Good choice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I had that exact choice. I drove an F12 versus the 458.
You told me that.
Yeah. And they were the same money, the same everything.
I was rooting for the F12. I knew it had issues, but...
Well, so this car was...
Blood, right?
Advertised as accident over 2,000.
Okay.
And, it was pretty well put together. Needed a few things here and there. Drove really well. Really high-spec car.
Nice.
Not my favorite color, titanium with, black interior, relatively generic. And then I'm like, okay, thinking about it, I was going to trade my 550 in for it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, show me the Carfax. And then he's like, oh yeah, it's got an accident. I'm like, show me the Carfax. The hit was for $280,000. Not a rebuild. And the car that I was buying it at that time for $200,000. The car was being hit for $280,000, not a rebuild. And the only thing on the title is $82,000. Right? So I'm like, well, I don't know what happened to this thing. I mean, there is epic Ferrari gouging that happens, depending on where you get it fixed.
Was it like a $200,000 tow?
Well, sometimes, because here's the thing, if you rent the car, for example, if
that's it, right? If you enter it, it goes into the claim.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I know.
Yeah. So if you have a rental car for 8 months,
that's right.
That's 10 or 20 grand, which is nothing. It's a drop in the bucket on that claim. But then, so that I ultimately, that I was not too worried about it because I looked at it and, structurally and everything. I mean, I was costing out the part.
Back, the front, the side.
I don't remember where the hit was. But I remember it was relatively straight in terms of how things lined up. I didn't see any obvious welds or any crab walking or anything like that. But I wouldn't have minded that, right? But the reason I didn't mind is because I just thought that the 458 was more engaging.
Mm-hmm.
And the 458 was the same money at that time.
That's right.
And in retrospect, I don't regret the decision. I think if that F12 was in a different color, I would have probably bought it. If it was that, my friend's white one.
Yes.
What color was it?
It was that really
Grigio.
Really gunmetal gray. Nice color, but just kind of generic, right?
If it was gray on red, then you definitely be Ed Bully.
Yes,
You know?
right. I am. I got gray on red right now.
I love it.
So anyway, I didn't choose that car, but I like that pick.
Have you seen OG Shafian, the German fella?
That's
He
exactly what I was
ripped his
thinking
F12
about.
in the
Yeah.
winter. He put on because the stock rims don't fit winter tires, of course. So he bored his friend's rims and threw on some Blizzaks or whatever and drifted his F12.
Nice.
Didn't total it. I was sweating.
It looked pretty
Sweating.
unhappy in the snow.
He said it did pretty good, but you can tell it didn't get enough angle that he wanted because it's an F12. It's not a drift car, right?
Yeah.
But he's normally, going nuts.
He's a good driver. Yeah.
Well, that long wheelbase is a little hard to overcome, right?
Yeah, I think it's the diff. It wasn't locking up as much as he wanted it to. It's that limited slip.
Right.
It's electric.
Right.
But anyway,
I mean, I think you have to have clarity of purpose when you buy that car. Are you if you're buying that car, you're buying it to be comfortable and cruise at very high velocity and do the odd burnout.
That's right. That's right.
That's kind of how I think about the car, right?
I love videos of him drifting canyons back to back.
I mean, that's cool. I like
cool. It's cool, and it can do it, which makes it all the impressive for Ferrari. I'm sure the engineers were rooting for him.
Yeah, amazing. All right, Adrian, what's your pick, man?
Oh my goodness. Well, it's a tough one, but I'm going to stick with my guns on this one. It's going to be a 355 Berlinetta.
You think that's undervalued?
I still think it's undervalued.
Really?
I know that's a shocker to everyone here. And 355s, I have had a love affair with them for my entire life. Yeah. And I remember driving an F1 years ago, not even that far, didn't push it to any extent. But I remember, I didn't mind the gear shifts even with the F1. I thought,
really? Wow, generous.
To me, it felt like a kit car at the time compared to everything else I drove.
Feels like a kit car.
Feels like a kit car. I mean, even your car, it felt like a kit car. Even standing still. Yeah. Just the build quality. But that's the charm.
It is a charm.
And I really do think that I mean, you said a good one, F12, but I think 355, you can't find a bad angle. I don't think there's a single bad angle in that car. And I genuinely believe that, especially Berlinettas only, because you can get spiders, you can get the GTSs that squeak. And, Jeremy Clarkson bought a GTS brand new and absolutely loved it. And he said he was going to buy one that wasn't in red.
The GTS wasn't squeaking? He didn't say that?
He had issues. Squeaked from brand new. So, these cars have issues, but the buttresses, as you know, in the Berlinettas, they crack. But I would take cracking buttresses over
100%.
a cracking hard soft top or all the other things.
Yeah.
Squeaky roof. Even an F1 I would take. As brutal as that sounds,
but you can
be converted.
Yeah,
so that problem has solved itself. Yeah. And I really think that if the right one were to strike, even a rough one, actually, I've even thought about it,
Would you do a convertible?
It would probably have to be a Spider. Because
there's one on sale that's on sale right now.
You know what? If it's a convertible.
It's a rebuild.
Okay. What color?
It's the color of your sweater.
Le Mans? Blue?
It's just kind of
blue?
No. It's this kind of blue.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like kind of blue gray.
Right?
Huh?
Is it Audis?
No, maybe it's Audis.
Because there's a few blue Spiders with blue interiors, dark blue interiors.
I don't know that it's dark blue interior. I think it's black interior. This is a rebuild car.
Okay. Well, a clean one's still 100 G's today for a Spider F1.
Yeah.
Canadian.
Yeah.
For retail. But I think, honestly, what would be the number? I think for a good one, F1 coupe Berlinetta, if you can find one for 70, 80 Canadian, that would be a steal.
That would be hard.
It would be hard.
So this one that's at a dealer auction, has no history. It's got a rebuild title with unclear provenance, like who knows where the damage was.
Yes.
In its favor, it's a rare color. Okay, maybe it's a manual. Maybe that's why it's bringing the money.
There was a very nice higher mileage TDF blue one sold on Cars and Bids. It was a manual.
Yeah.
And I think Doug was talking about it too.
Yeah.
And that's a hot car.
Yeah.
Even with the higher miles. And actually, that would be the type of car that probably I'd have to, if I were to get into a 355. I would put a Highland.
I would get a mild out 355
one
all
that's
day
been
long.
Everything done to it.
Absolutely. They haven't already been cracked. The valve stems. There's only a couple of issues, right? Because they're relatively simple.
I know, that's right.
You got the crack headers, you got the cats that die, and then you got the bronze valve guides on the early ones. And all those three things are going to declare themselves early on in the history.
Yeah. And I think actually, as you know, you had a 95. I think the 95 is the coolest one. Yes. And then you get the 95, you get the 99. The 95 is the one.
Yeah, the 95 is the one.
Get the dual master.
Yeah, the dual master. They say
6 more horsepower. Allegedly,
they say up to 20.
I think I feel 4 or 5.
Yeah, well, some people say it's a wash, but some people. And if you tell me you can feel 4, I bullshit.
I can't. They're just my luck.
Yeah. That's a good call. I mean, I don't know how much headroom there. See, I don't disagree. It's a beautiful car. It's a gorgeous car. And I think what you're really getting at is exploiting the difference that people see between an F1 car and a manual car, a convertible car versus a coupe, right?
Yeah.
Exploiting those differences and getting the basis spec of the whatever, the least desirable, for the purposes of enjoying that engine.
Yes.
There's something to it, right?
That's right. The engine's fantastic.
That's what it is, right?
Cinque Valvole.
Cinque Valvole.
Cinque Valvole.
Oh, so beautiful.
That's beautiful. Even stock, they sound so good.
They
So
absolutely do. Mine was bone stock, and it just sounded amazing. I think as a car that I covet, I'm with you there. As a car that has a ton of headroom, I'm a little less convinced.
Well, they're asking crazy prices now, as you know. They're not getting those prices yet, unless they're Mecum spec. Yeah. But I do think that, let's look ahead in a year from now. I do think those cars will be approaching 300 grand Canadian for the nice ones.
So for that, you're talking about a clean, good color 95 manual coupe or GTS.
That's right. Preferably coupe. And I think coupe will always take the top dollar.
GTS is lower production.
That's true, but I think depends on who you are, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the GTS does look cool, right?
It does look cool.
I think in that James Bond movie was it a GTS they had? She was a GTS, right?
It was, I think, a Spider or GTS. You're right.
I feel like it was,
She had her hair in the wind, so
it was I mean, it burned into my brain.
That's right.
I do love that car.
The car, right?
The woman too. I mean, she's beautiful. I mean, look at her.
She's Scandinavian.
I don't know what she is, but she's done it right.
Matter.
I guess she's done it right.
Samka Jensen.
Really?
I never met her. I've met some other beautiful actresses. My dad's in the film business, or was in the film business. So I've met a lot.
You met her?
No, I never met her, but I've met other beautiful European actresses. But I always wanted to. She pulled up in that car. I mean, I would have said to her, let me burn your clutch for you.
Yes. Well, I would have said more filthy things than that. But personally, I respect your reserve. But yes, I mean, that's just one of those iconic. What a great matching. I mean, and this sounds a bit weird, but even I think I remember that even her lipstick was the state of the car. I mean, I don't know, just the cinematography of that thing on that road with the juxtaposition of the old Aston. It was just great.
And this is back in the day before drones and GoPros. They actually had this camera.
Yeah, they had all
on the Ferrari, on the hood.
Yeah,
they took the hood off. They made all this to the chassis.
Yeah, and just
that's dope. That's the way to do it.
And you hit on an interesting point because we've talked about this
analog
before. Cars that have big screen provenance, they tend to do better. Yeah. And that is one of those iconic scenes that's because you don't see, there's no movie out there where you see a 348 in the same time.
Fast and the Furious too, 355, more than you can afford, pal.
But I still feel like he had a 348.
It was 355.
I think it was a 348.
Might have been both.
Yeah, I think they used...
Could have been a 348 with the 355 side, or vice versa.
Yeah, because you didn't get a good shot of the car. It was definitely a GTS because the hadn't spoken out.
It was black. I remember that.
And it was black.
Yeah.
We're going to have to look. Okay.
Let's take a look. Comment below.
Because I know people say it's a 355, but always in my head it's been burned that it's a 348. And it always bothered me that they would call it a 3 people after the fact would call it that. So we'll have to look at that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're at F12. You're at 355.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be lame and I'm gonna choose a car behind me. Okay. And I'll tell you why. Every time I enter the Ferrari market, okay, I enter at the bottom because I'm a bottom feeder, right? That's what I do. I buy the cheapest one because I want the experience, right? I mean, the cheapest one of the era that I'm after, the engine that I'm after, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I got into this car, they weren't quite at the bottom where they are now.
Yep.
They went down a little bit further when I bought it.
But you got the right color.
But I mean, aside from the color, this might be a bit of an oversell, but this is the basis of the 458 engine, right? It's been bored out. This is 4.3, that's 4.5. Yes, it has 60 more horsepower, but it's the same internals. Whereas the difference between the 355 and the 360, that's the last of the old lineage. This is the first of the new lineage.
4.7, right?
4.3. You're thinking Maserati.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm thinking Maserati. Sorry, 4.3.
Yeah.
That's correct.
It screens and it hits that magical 500-ish horsepower mark. I think that is a key number to hit in a car. Mm-hmm. Underneath, 400 plus is great, but the difference between 500 and 600 is academic. And one of the reasons I say that is because I had the 458 at the same time as I had this, and I don't remember thinking the 458 was that much faster. It felt incrementally faster.
I agree with you.
It didn't feel a lot faster because, how those numbers are derived changes over time. I'm not saying that this one was sandbagged and that one is, I'm not saying that. I am saying that the difference in terms of how it feels is minuscule.
It's what, like 290 foot-pounds of torque, like around 300. I don't know actually the torque off the top.
I don't know that. No, I think it's like 350 or something.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's 350. You're thinking 355 numbers.
Maybe.
Maybe. It's usually 100 horsepower, 100 points lower than the horsepower number.
But this to 458 is like not a huge gap in torque, right?
No.
It's probably like 30 more torque.
Yeah, if that's
probably
right.
Barely.
Yeah, and there's 60 more horsepower.
That's
so,
right.
you don't feel the difference bottom line.
Yeah.
And the price disparity is huge, right? Huge. I mean, I personally think the 458 looks way better than this thing. I don't think this is the prettiest Ferrari out there personally, but I do think bang for buck. When you look at this car as an F1, you can buy this thing for $100,000. Traditionally, the thing that has handicapped all these cars has been made null and void in the last 5 years. We're talking about the F1 to manual switch.
Transmission.
So the way the market is calibrated and traditionally valued these cars has always been factoring in, you're going to need $10,000 for a clutch every 10 or 15,000 kilometers, right?
Yeah.
And so because of that, people penalize these cars quite significantly and reward the manuals, as we know. But now we know that there's a $30,000 fix for that, and that's dealt with forever. And it's dealt to a very high standard, essentially indistinguishable from the factory car. Yeah. And so what you're really getting is, the basic substrate, and, just work with me on this bit of a stretch that I'm about to sell you. What you're really getting is potentially a base manual 458 with uglier bodywork. Okay, you're getting the similar engine.
I like the body on these.
I mean, that's subjective, right? I still think the 458 was a cleaner job. You can put that on the back burner. But the more contentious statement is this a manual 458? It kind of is.
But F1s are good in these cars. I've never driven an F1 430 ever, so what am I to say anything about it? But everyone said if you're going to go F1, this is the one to get. That's what they've said.
I don't know. I mean, look, I have a theory about F1 people who like F1. Okay, I have a theory, and this is.
I'm not an F1 guy. Don't worry.
Well, you kind of are. Come on.
You just
beige F1, longer the better. I mean, it's cool. It's cool to have it's cool to have a brand. I mean, my theory about F1 people who fight hard for F1 is because, like, a buddy of mine was telling me that, we were talking about the Aventador today, and I was like, well, the thing that hobbles that is still that, 2021 still has the manual single clutch, right? And yes, you can make it faster and this and that. He goes, and I was making the argument that takes away from the value. And he said, no, I think you're wrong. People are craving that experience.
Yes.
And because they want the engagement. So to me, the logical endpoint of that discussion is they're craving manual, but they don't know how to do it.
So what was the last produced F1?
The Aventador.
No, I'm talking Ferrari F1.
That was like this car.
That would have been
this car.
The Scud, right?
Yeah.
But they really perfected it because your brother's Scud. You like it, right? It's snappy, right?
Well, spoiler alert, guess what's going to happen to that car?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It just makes sense.
Really? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying no, but I've heard good things about the Scud F1.
Yes, you can evolve the science. Like, you can make VCRs rewind faster and have better picture quality.
Vital.
but they're still not going to be DVDs, man. They're still not going to be MP3s. but that's what I'm saying. DSC or whatever, right? DSC, whatever.
Okay. I don't know if I can buy that argument, but...
But I personally think that, you cannot change the fact that there's a single engagement point, right?
Yes.
And, if you're going to go for something that shifts the gears for you and you don't want automatic.
So, quick question. Do you think, because we talked last episode, 360 to 360 Stradale is not a huge jump from 430 to 430 Scud. What do you think? Is it a bigger jump?
200 horsepower, 20 pounds, you do the math. I mean, I don't think it's that big of a jump. But, that's not the only thing that you get, right? You get various accoutrements like carbon this and special seats and different bumpers, and there's distinguishing factors. So as a marketing exercise, I think there's lots to recommend that car, and I think that there is a visceral difference that can be felt. 200-pound weight loss is not insignificant. They rerouted the exhaust to make it sound a little different, not insignificant. So all together, a very well packaged car, and the market receives it well because of that. But ultimately, what I'm saying is, if you're the value conscious buyer rather than the pedigreed buyer, you can recreate a stud for a third of the cost, right? You can take this car and put 30 grand into it. You can change the front and rear. You can change the exhaust. You can, just upload the Scud F1 programming. I mean, I think there might be a couple of internals that would be a little harder to do, but you'd get 99% of the power for like a 30 grand.
That's right. I love the Scud interior with all the...
it's beautiful.
It's like Alcantara before Alcantara. It was really cool, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
It was ahead of its time. Yeah. And it doesn't date the car at all, actually.
No, it looks great.
I think it looks really great, the way it is.
And that utilitarian feel where, you're just seeing floor plan. There's no floor plan.
Stripped. I love it.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
I mean, there's lots to recommend that car.
Yes.
But if you're arguing that what makes that car is the fact that it has a good F1,
no,
I reject that.
I disagree too. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And so to my original point, I think, and this is a hot take, anybody who loves an F1 is a secret manual lover who either doesn't know how or can't do it for shit. Okay? So try it out, buy a beater, learn yourself some manual, and you will think, what the hell is this F1 thing? That's my hot take. Okay?
I love it. Lambo single clutches for people who want a manual but can't drive a manual.
Correct. But I mean, manual is a little bit Lambo's a little bit different because they didn't actually offer a manual for that car.
Yeah.
But what I don't understand is the technology is there. Why wouldn't somebody convert it?
I hear you. I do think, just to my silly argument, anything that's the last of its kind, whether it's e-gear or manual, it will always have some sort of provenance, I think.
100%. There's always going to be followers. Just because I said they're all pop-outs doesn't mean doesn't mean the demand's going to dry up.
Damon Fryer from DD actually said something very damning. He said the SVJ, he'd never swap to a manual, even if you could. He thinks the single clutch is the last of that era. And same with Dave's Squadra Corsa. They both spoke that both those cars will stay paddle shift forever.
But the language there is interesting, right? The last of an era. So what you're really saying is this is an exercise in preservation rather than an exercise in improving the experience. My bias has always been the latter, right?
Yes. Well, I think the brutality of the e-gear, specifically the Venador, I'm not talking F1 anymore. I think, people have said that you can't compare that to a stick even. I mean, if you drove a stick like that, it'd be terrifying. I
mean, I'd have to say I've driven an early one. I've driven many early ones, never late ones, and it's not a great transmission.
Okay, the early ones were weird. 2011, 2012, they were...
This would be around 2013 or 14 was my last experience.
Yes.
So I'm sure that, they get better and they get better. Yeah. I get that point. Yeah. But, there's only so much improvement. There's, it's going to be in increments, right?
True.
That's I'm sure it's going to be better. It's going to be like 20 or 50% better. But, when you start talking about shift time is like 100 milliseconds to like 50, right? That's what they talk about.
No, I hear you. Yeah. No, you're right. Having the stick is more control. Absolutely.
I know, I'm sure that there's somebody out there doing that. I can't imagine that it's impossible. It's just it's just lack of will, and I can understand that.
Gonna take out that huge center console.
Yeah.
You have to be handicapped, then there's an argument for e-gear and F1.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you have an inability to drive manual for whatever reason, obviously the F1 is a great analog for that. Because if you're in an F1 car and you're blindfolded as a passenger, you won't know if it's manual or not because it feels the same. It honestly does.
Parking lot.
Well, yeah, this is true. Well, but then you'd be like, this guy's shitty at driving manual. That's how you think, right?
That's right.
But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so that's my hot take. I think the 430 value, and I think
that's a good take.
You're going to start to see them climb, and because they're everywhere, you don't even think about them, right? They're just kind of blend. It's just like where we were with 355s, like 5-7 years ago. They were all over the place, and people just kind of thought, I need something that's unobtainable. Buy one of the good news is you've got a lot of supply right now. Find a good one and hold on to it, and you probably won't want to sell it. And it's imminently upgradable in all the ways we've discussed. So I would not be surprised. So right now, this is a $100,000 car. That's got to be the floor. Like, not this car, but let's say you're entry level into a higher mile F1 430 coupe or convertible, $100,000 US. And that's got to be the floor. I think that they're easily 150, 200.
Yep.
5-10 years down the road.
There was that Scenic Rush 430 that had like 280 clicks on it. Do you guys remember that one? It was a rental car up the Sea to Sky Highway.
How many hours of YouTube are you watching?
No, this
I don't know what you're talking about.
I almost rented this car actually.
Oh, really?
Because we were looking at.
So this isn't a clip.
No, I'd gone to their. So they're no longer in business, Scenic Rush, for good reason. But they're.
What is Scenic Rush? What do we
used to be?
You're local?
Yeah,
out of West Vancouver.
Oh, okay. 280K.
Big accident stopped them.
They had a huge accident, but they had a bunch of accidents. They had a bunch of exotics that you could rent out, just drive up to Sea to Sky. And they would rip past.
And they would have like spotters ahead so that you could rip.
Really?
Yeah. No, I think it was worth the dough back then until you crashed it. And
100%.
That 430 sold for like 80 grand. That's the bottom of the market for a F1 rental.
I feel like a 300K Canadian would probably still only bring 80 grand. But I think that I mean the cheapest for F430 I remember seeing was $99,000 in Calgary, and it had 99,000 kilometers.
Yes.
And so I still think, I mean, now I'm saying it's 100 US, like, inflation adjusted, it was cheaper. It's cheaper now than it was then, because this was about 10 years ago. So I still think this is the bottom of the market, and they've stayed depressed for quite a while. The same thing with Gallardos are undervalued. I think, there's a lot of production numbers. There's a lot of buffering there that's there, and it's suppressing the prices. But at a certain stage, not too far in the distant future, a high revving 9,000 RPM V8 or a 5-liter V10 are going to feel like fevered dreams, and we're going to be like, holy crap! Imagine the time when they could buy this thing off the rack and get them for 100 grand. I think we're going to regret not having these cars salted away somewhere at that time.
I think for value-wise, you win, because this I do think is probably the best value Ferrari and best driving Ferrari for the money.
100%,
and they're most reliable compared to 360, and 355's never hit 300,000K.
No, I mean, because nobody drives them, nobody's that bold, right? But I'm sure they could. It's just, the thing is, every 30,000K or 50,000K, you're doing a $10,000 or $15,000 job. That's why people don't do it. So it's not like they can't handle the miles. It's just that I know of a couple of 100,000K for 355s, but it just becomes an expensive proposition. Whereas with this, is a timing chain. So
there's a panel to do the belts.
There's no belts on this. You're thinking about 360. This is a timing chain, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they went from timing belt to chain.
In 430.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So they went from 355 to 360. They had the same engine, but they had a panel the 360.
Yeah, okay. So that's cool. There's a timing chain.
Yeah. So like lifetime. I say, there's a couple of things. The same bloody things happen to every Ferrari. The headers and the what's the other ones? The manifolds, they crack.
Taillights.
Huh? Oh yeah, the tail lights, like little trim bits, whatever, that.
Yeah.
But all those things, none of those things is going to make it undrivable.
That's right.
Maybe with the possible exception of the manifolds after a while. But once you fix those things, they're fixed forever. And this thing has Capri stoves. The manifolds have already cracked on it, so it's fine. And
sounds better than stock.
I think so. I think it sounds great. Yeah,
sounds great.
I do like it. So that's a hot take for us. Now let's finish off with our 2-minute car crush. What are you crushing on right now? Matthias, what are you crushing on?
I mean, kind of like Toyotas.
I wonder why.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, something about a Toyota hatch.
Yeah,
like the simplicity.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been thinking about those.
So which sort of a hatch? Or am I asking you to reveal too much?
Well, we'll see.
All right.
Something rear-wheel drive.
Methinks you're contemplating a move here.
Yeah. We've thinned down one car tomorrow.
Okay.
So a future thin. Nice. And then in a week or so, I'll list the Volvo as well.
Okay.
So I'm thinning down 2 cars to get 1 car.
Okay. Nice. Well, we're going to do the market update or the garage update in the next little segment.
So stay tuned.
Yes. So, okay, you're crushing on Toyotas. Let's put aside your potential purchase. Yeah. Which other Toyota hatchback would you go for? Because we won't talk about that one until we're ready.
None other Toyota hatchback.
No. Okay. Yeah. He's ladies, you heard it here first. He's a one-car guy.
Pragmatic.
And potentially a multi-woman guy. See, that's my theory. If you have one car, you have many women. So that's why I have many cars.
A hatch, and you can put 4 in the back. Right?
So don't trust him is what I'm saying. So, all right. So Toyota hatch. I think that I would love to get myself another Supra of any generation. I had a Mark 1 Supra with 500,000 kilometers on it. I bought it for $280. It had a huge rusted hole right behind the rear tire.
Wow.
My hair went back when I had hair. I used to drive over puddles and my hair would get wet because the tire would spray up. And I just paper mache'd it over and drove that thing. Man, it was fast. It was fast.
Because of the paper mache.
Well, there you go. Lightweighting, bro. Lightweighting. Okay. Colin Chapman taught me a thing or two. So, yeah, that was the shit.
That's
all right,
cool.
Where's your head at?
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm gonna be honest. Lexus LS 460 didn't tend to follow me. Okay, and I've been looking at a bunch of them, and actually
460, 430. What are we talking?
Yeah, LS, so a 2011. I'm looking for a facelift specifically.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of pre-facelifts out there. That's the bulk of the production.
Yeah.
Once they got toward the end of production, nobody was buying these things.
This is true.
Really, it wasn't a hot car.
Well, what's your color spec? Still green on tan?
You know, you can't find a green one in 2011. It's impossible. That's only 90s only.
Really?
I did buy a green Matchbox, so I got the itch, scratched the itch.
Are you saying the 460s never came in green?
I've never seen a green. I don't think they ever came in green.
I love that green on gold. I'm sure they must have carried.
Well, here's the thing. Most of them are black. Most of them are silver.
Or white.
Or white.
See a lot of white. Yeah.
And just awful. I really would love to find a dark blue one with a cream interior. I mean, beggars can't be choosers, right? Like a nautical theme.
Yeah, just don't go silver. Silver really washes that car
I think silver is the worst color.
Yeah,
on that
really
car
washes
specifically.
That car out.
It looks like a soap bar, like one of those statues, standing still. But yeah, I think a 460 has to be an L. Okay. And it has to have the executive package. It has
Which is the foot through
the
seat
rear
thing?
captain's chairs with the console, with the massage and the cooled and everything.
So who's going to drive your car around for you?
Well, I got drivers. Actually, seriously. No, if you have a car like that, you want to be in the back.
Absolutely.
And when I had my 2 7 Series, I had an IL and I had a Shorty. And honestly, the IL is so sweet in the back seat.
Yeah,
it's just a whole other world.
What were you doing in the back seat of your sporty Shorty when it was parked on
my sporty
at the
Shorty,
end of a dark lane?
Yeah, my sporty Shorty. It was not as fun in the back. Let's put it that way. But it had heated seats with a dial. Nice, infinite adjustment.
Nice, infinite. CVT heat warmers.
But no, I think the Lexus LS is sort of what's taken over. I guess what would replace an E38 740. For me. Okay. And it would be reliable, hopefully. And, I know it may burn oil once it hits 400,000 K, but like you said, just keep adding oil and keep her going.
Keep rolling.
It'll keep going.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll give you points for consistency. That is impressive. That is impressive. And I've always liked those cars myself. I'll not say a bad word about them. I think that they would be a great one-car solution. But I wouldn't want that thing on a mountain pass anywhere.
No. Yeah. It's a winter car.
Yeah.
Strictly.
Yeah, because they're so cheap, right?
They're so cheap. I think for 10, 15 grand, it's a steal.
Oh, dude.
You get Maybach options.
Yeah, 100%. So comfortable. And it'll never break. That's the beauty.
And Mark Levinson.
Yes, Mark Levinson. Yes, exactly. No, I like that. So to close off, what is mine? I'm constantly looking at things because it's part of my disease. But at the current moment, I
GMC Yukon?
I do like those, but not that much. No, it was an E34 M5 with the 3.8 motor. There was one that went through Japan auction last week. I'm gonna put it in the show notes. It was a burgundy with white leather. No, it wasn't Calypso.
Oh, was it?
No, Calypso is like bright red. I think this is more of a burgundy. I don't know.
That was Calypso.
I think it was darker than that. This one
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because it looked like I've never seen that color before.
That was nice.
Yeah, but because it was very dark.
Big money car.
Yeah, stupid money car, right? So the starting bid on this car was something like $10,000. So I put the starting bid in. I'm like, maybe, right? I don't know. Let's see what happens. So $10,000, and I thought, okay, I know it's probably going to bring 30, 40 grand. Fair enough, right? Because it only had 60,000 kilometers. It had the 3.8 Euro only motor.
What year was it again?
It's a 93.
Okay, so 5-speed.
Yeah. I think they only ever came in 5-speed.
95 only.
No, but with the V8 one only. The V6 only ever came with the 5-speed.
The inline 6 only came with the 6-speed, the Nürburgring package. The 95 only, last year production, and very limited production.
You sure it had the 6?
My friend has a 6-speed
E34.
E34 Euro 3.8.
Interesting, with a 6-speed. Ooh, that's gotta be worth money.
It's a spicy car.
Ooh, nice. What 6-speed is that? Because I'd love to do that on this thing.
I don't know what the get trade something. I don't know those cars very well. And there you never see them here. There's probably
that is a unicorn. Yeah, I mean, God knows how few they made of those.
Yeah.
So this was a 5-speed car, red, whatever version of red, with white leather, 66,000 K, very clean. Had a couple of light mods from what I can remember. So I thought, okay, I'll put in 10,000. Let's see what happens. The car went for 100,000, which, to be clear, is about 2 to 3x what some like a generic spec version of that car would go for, with admittedly higher kilometers. So again, like, who's paying $100,000 for that? That's crazy. But nonetheless, it made me want it briefly. And, the problem is that you get the same performance as this car with 400 extra pounds and better looks, better interior, but 400 extra pounds I wouldn't trade. And that's why I went E28 in the first place. But I'd like to have an E34 next to my E28. I think that'd be cool if I had the space.
Buy the next one for 10 grand.
Yeah. Well, I should have bought your buddies. I'm an idiot.
That's okay. There's a lot of E34s. That's what the weird part with that marketplace is. I found, like, I've been watching E34 M5 specifically for the last 3-4 years specifically. They're not moving that much.
They're not.
They're not moving at all, actually. If I would have bought a car like that a few years ago, thinking maybe in a year or two it might skyrocket, I would have been totally wrong.
Yeah, you would
have been out to lunch.
Market is completely flat on those.
Completely flat, which is sad. But I think the special ones, like anything Euro, anything that's wagon, anything that's provenance.
Yeah, that stupid wagon phase. I can't support it. I don't know. I don't know why they're worth so much, but I take your point.
E34 Josh owns every E34 Alpina and M5 variants, including right-hand drive E3.8s. He bought a Techno Violet out of New Zealand.
That's a level of devotion. I hope to...
He's betting on E34s right now. His channel is E34 Josh. He's fantastic.
Fair enough. That was my want of the week. It's more my want of last week until I saw what it went for. I'm like, the hell with this? I'm not paying $100 for this damn car. That is stupid.
That's crazy.
But still, very nice car. You guys tell me. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining us. Like, subscribe. Tell us what you're thinking about. Tell us what your car crush is. Tell us how we got it wrong, because I'm interested. I'm always interested to know what the next hot take is. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next time.